Yeah, Kevin, would have been better had Purdue actually won last night on you guys. Would have been, but would you have rather have seen them win last night?
I don't know. Regardless if they won or lost, it's still a really good basketball team. And man, there is a talented as a team that I've seen this year. And last night I was up late last night and early this morning and watching a lot of film on those guys. And man, they're a special team. When you look at them, they're almost too deep at every position. The two centers, they could be both of them could average 20 points a game if they played on separate teams. And then we don't have to talk about Ivy and how special he is and great shooters that they have around. And but it's a really, really good basketball team. And so give Rutgers credit. I thought that was a great win at home. They did a tremendous job, but they beat a really good basketball team, probably the best one that I've seen in this early season so far.
Go ahead, Jonas.
Coach, along those same lines, last night when you met with us, you said something, I'm paraphrasing here. You said, if you're not mentally and physically tough, any team can get beat on any given night. And then I'm sure before you even got home, Rutgers had already beaten Purdue. Do you look at your team like, see, like this is the reference. This is what I was trying to tell you guys, that it can happen on any given night.
Yeah, Jonas, with transfers and just the way basketball is today, I feel like it's more parity than it's ever been since I've been coaching. And when you look around just our league and every league in the country, nothing is guaranteed. You don't know that, I know that you go into every game and there's projections about which team's supposed to win and which team's supposed to lose. But at the end of the day, it's been quite different this year. And I'm sure it's been upsets in the past. But this year, it feels to me that on any given night, if you're not ready to play and the other team's a little bit more ready to play than you, then you can lose the game or obviously be in a situation when you win it.
Go ahead, Out.
Yeah, you mentioned Purdue's centers. It's one of the best rebounding teams in the country, if not the best rebounding team in the country. Just how much of a challenge is that for you guys in this game, especially obviously with not having Manny?
Yeah, it would be a big challenge if Manny was playing. And unfortunately we know he's not. And so, we got young bigs and EB and Jalen and Ernest. They've got their hands full, but more importantly, I think our guards got to do a great job in this game in particular of helping rebound. It's got to be a team effort opposed to those two guys, because those guys are going to have their hands full just trying to, keep those two big centers off the glass. And so I think it's got to be a tremendous team effort from everyone. I'm going to ask everybody to give me a couple more rebounds per game in this game because we're going to need it.
Jonas, go ahead.
How important is it for your perimeter guys like DB and Cam and Breon and Smith to kind of apply pressure full court and kind of get them off schedule and kind of get them late into the shot clock before they want to get into their offense?
Well, it's important, Jonas. It's important for a couple of reasons. They do such a great job when they can come down and just run their offense. And certainly if you can do anything to disrupt their offense, it'll certainly help you. But it's the way we play. We're a pressing team, and we want to obviously try to, speed people up or make them take quick shots or force them into some tough, turnovers and those type of things. And so for us, it's two different things. When Purdue can run their offense, in which they're really, really good at, and I don't know if anybody stopped them from running their offense, they're at their best. And if we can do anything to just try to disrupt it a little bit, it could certainly help us.
Go ahead, Corey.
Kevin, I wanted to ask you about the status of two guys. Obviously, Casey Morsell missed the last two games, but what is his status going into this game? And then we haven't heard a whole lot about Greg Gant so far. Where does he stand at this point, and when might he potentially be able to return?
Yeah, I would. I'll start, Corey, with Greg. Greg's probably, we're looking at if he's going to return, it's going to be probably somewhere, probably mid to late January. If he is returning, and I'm not saying that's going to happen, we'll look at him and evaluate him at that time. That being said, he's getting into practice a little bit more. He's getting some reps. We haven't put him into contact, but he is getting in and, doing some stuff with our team. When we talk about Casey, Casey will be another game time decision. I hope he's available. We put him through warm-ups, and I thought he looked decent at times during warmups, and then I think he came down a little bit funny on it, which meant that he wasn't actually ready to play. And so we held him out of the game. And so hopefully with a couple of days of rest and not playing last night, hopefully he's available for Sunday.
And kind of feeding off of that Casey Morsell question, the play of Terquavion Smith, we talked about it so far this season, but how important is he going to be in that role, and how important is it for a guy like Cam Hayes to maybe shoot a little bit better than what he has the last couple games as well?
With Casey out, it makes us incredibly young. I'm looking at our starting lineup for the last 2 games, and you're starting Cam Hayes as a sophomore. You're starting Darion Seaborn as a sophomore. And I consider E.B. Dewana to be a freshman. So you got E.B., who I think is a freshman, and Terquavion. This wasn't the idea coming into the season. With Casey out, it makes us incredibly young, puts a lot of pressure on the young guys. And Terquavion is playing well, but as a young guy, you're going to make certain mistakes. And as a coach, we have to live with some of those. But I need a couple veteran guards to be in the lineup to be able to play to help us win games, one being Casey, and then hopefully to get something out of Thomas Allen to play better. I thought Cam last night, had one of his worst games as far as shooting the basketball, and hopefully don't have many more often games like that. I think he'll be better. We'll get back in the gym and work on some stuff. For whatever reason, his shot just wouldn't go.
Thanks, Kevin.
Go ahead, Todd.
Yeah, Kevin, how important is it to play a game like this against a Power 5 opponent from another conference? Could that help you guys down the road? And maybe is this something that might help if you guys make when you guys make the tournament this year, possibly facing a team like this? You will have a little bit of knowledge of how that conference and how those teams play.
Yeah, I think it's important. I'm excited that we get the opportunity. I don't know, since I've been here and we can go back and look at it, is if I've ever had a chance to play the number 1 team. I know we've played, Arizona when they were 2 and Duke home here when they were 2, but I don't know that we played the number 1 team. But I'm excited. It's a really good team. It's a great opportunity, but a huge challenge for us, especially in the areas where they're really strong. And, obviously with Manny being out, that's one of the areas that we're getting better at, but we're still not where we need to be. But I'm excited about the opportunity. I look forward to it. Our guys, obviously, I think they'll be excited. I'm going to go into practice here in about 30, 40 minutes. And I don't know how much we'll do. We'll do a lot of film work and be able to talk to them about, going over some sets and more personnel stuff today.
You have not played a number 1 team while you've been here. Go ahead, Jonas.
Coach, without giving away too much of your strategy and game plan, what did you see from the Rutgers tape that they did well to kind of to slow Purdue down a little bit, if you can kind of incorporate into your strategy?
I thought Rutgers was extremely physical. That was one of the most physical games that I watched. And, I don't know, and some of that comes down to, how the referees will call the game. And it was a great game. It was a great home court environment. You could tell that, the fans and the student body were excited about playing a number 1 Purdue game, and especially to be in a conference game. But I don't know if there's anything that I can take from Rutgers. Is a little bit different than us. We don't play the same. But that being said, what a great win for Steve Pikiell and his group.
Go ahead, Corey.
It did feel like watching it back. One of the big ways that Rutgers was able to have success was frustrating them with some of the press on that side of the ball. Obviously, you're a team that likes to press the ball, but do you feel like you're able to do that at your like you want to be able to? I guess is the question here, because you do have the limited depth.
Yeah, I would love to. A lot of that's going to come down to how our guys, or if we get a guy like Casey Morsell back and we be able to play, more guards. Early in our season, we've been extremely guard heavy, which is great. But when you don't have as many guards to put out there, it kind of changes how you press and how much you can press and how hard you go on the press. But certainly, Purdue won't be afraid of our press. They obviously are a good veteran team. They know how to play. They got really good guards. But that's something that we do, and we'll try to play the way we play.
Anything else for Coach? All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys. Enjoy your weekend.
Thanks, Coach. You too.
Appreciate it, Coach.